Hello, I am your host, Croc, aka Danny, and you are watching the third episode of the Comics Amino podcast, Comics Amino exclusive podcast, and we have some special guests with us here today to talk about the comic book landscape as of 2018, and I'm really excited to talk about our current topics. So first, I want to introduce our guest, IrishManJake. How are you doing today?
Hello, greetings people of the interwebs. I'm doing quite well. Thank you for having me on here, my good sir.
No problem. I'm happy I finally was able to get you on. Next we have Robin the Girl Wonder.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Doing great. Really excited to do this episode. And lastly, but not least, we've got Sir Stansalot.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm really glad to be here.
All right, now that we've got the intro out of the way, I think we can jump right on in. So, honestly, I think that's the smoothest I've ever been on the intro. So,
Well, if I may interject,
I'm so bad at that.
I think it went well.
You didn't give Stan his proper introduction. He's Sir Stansalot, first anointed knight of Cyprus and defender of the Mediterranean.
Oh, I am sorry, Sir Stansalot.
He is furious right now.
I am. Yeah,
I guess we got.
I will have my kingdom attack your wherever you are.
Yeah. Okay. Well, honestly, do it, man. I'm ready. I deserve this.
Also, thanks for letting me go on last minute, Danny.
Yeah, we had a bit of a problem with scheduling the panel. A couple of people were in and out, and we had to kind of do some last second changes, and we ended up with our girl Robin the Girl Wonder coming in.
Hi,
coming in clutch
again.
for the save. So today we have a few topics that I'm pretty excited with. First one being a new DC comic book coming out called Justice League No Justice. This book is spinning out of the page of DC Metal, being written by Scott Snyder, James Tynion IV, Joshua Williamson, and art by Francis Manapul. It's a 6-issue miniseries starting in May, and basically the pitch for this book is, imagine if each member of the Justice League ends up leading a team of Justice Leaguers. So you've got Superman having a team, you've got Wonder Woman with a team, Flash and Cyborg with a team, and Batman with a team, and it just looks amazing. The characters they've gotten for this are just, honestly, you'd never expect to see them on the Justice League, and I think that's one of the coolest things we've got going on right now. So just to give a little background for each team, we've got it's really cool because they're kind of like color coordinated, and you've also got they've got names as well, so it's like I'm not sure where the names came from, but you got Team Mystery, which is that is a Superman team, and it's basically built up of a bunch of aliens, which I think is really cool. You've got Superman leading the team.
Batman's team isn't Mystery since he's the world's greatest detective.
Yeah, that's a weird choice there. Yeah, I don't know why they did that. But Team Mystery is made up of Superman, Starfire, Martian Manhunter, finally coming back into something. So thank God for that. And then the last two members are a little bit confusing, but really exciting. We've got Sinestro and Starro, the first Justice League villain ever. So
Why Starro?
Why Starro? Exactly. It's the weirdest choice, but I'm so interested. I'm so ready.
Starfire and Martian Manhunter, because I love both those characters, and I would love them to get another solo series. So DC, if you're listening, why don't you get on that?
Yeah.
I always felt, unlike Cyborg, that Cyborg, to me, he always felt more like a Teen Titans member. Like, he fit in there a little better. But with Starfire, I think she's pitch perfect for the Justice League.
Yeah.
Even more so than Teen Titans right now, honestly.
Yeah, she's really out of place on the Teen Titans team, I feel like.
Also,
every time I read it,
she's no longer a teenager, so
yeah,
she's definitely no longer
treating her as like they're treating her like the group mother, like, of the team. Despite the fact that Damien's leader. Yeah, exactly. That's the weird part. Damien's team leader, but Starfire is there for some reason, question mark.
But it's weird because
why isn't she on Titans?
Yeah, in the movies, she is the leader.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she's like co-leading with Nightwing. Meanwhile, Nightwing's leading the Titans, and I feel like that's just such a better place for her right now. And I think that's her team and that's her home. So I don't know why she's on.
Like a lot of cosmic heroes for the Superman team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to get back on track.
And they kept the other ones. I mean, relatively fitting to their teams. For example, Wonder Woman's team is all very mystical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
we got Wonder Woman.
I think it fits where they put all the teams together.
I'm surprised to see Raven on the team.
Okay.
Or is it Raven?
1 second. 1 second here. So Wonder Woman's team is Wonder Woman, Dr. Fate, Zatanna, Etrigan the Demon, and not Raven, despite popular belief, but Enchantress.
That's not Raven. What?
Okay, here's the thing. On IGN, they reported that it is Raven, and in the uncolored version of the art of No Justice #3, Raven there is in the back, and she definitely looks like Raven. Doesn't look like Enchantress at all.
I mean, she has brown hair.
I mean,
what if she dyed it? Characters can dye their hair, you know.
Yeah, she did dye her hair. She dyed her hair purple.
It would make a lot more sense if it was.
What if she redyed it? What if it's a coloring issue?
She has her own comic book. She's pretty well known in the Teen Titans books. Like, it would just make more sense to have her be in the role instead of an Enchantress. And even then,
I think it makes more sense for sure. Especially since you got some Teen Titans members, but you also got some Suicide Squad members on the teams as well. So that's what kind of tips me off into thinking, okay, maybe this is Enchantress.
I really like to see Etrigan the Demon in there.
Yes. I haven't read his new miniseries yet, but he's definitely one of the most he's great. Just great.
I'm surprised John Constantine isn't on this team.
Yeah. Constantine's kind of taking a backseat. I feel like no word has come out from Hellblazer. I feel like you got a very, very small cult following on Hellblazer right now.
Well, I feel like Hellblazer was just better with Vertigo rather than incorporating him into the main DC universe. Because I read some of like the New 52 Hellblazer. I liked it fine, but I just feel like he's just better in Vertigo, like not involved with the grander DC universe and just
also. Yeah, he's always kind of seemed like a character who just kind of fits a little better, like in this niche little place than in like. It doesn't really strike me as a character who would be the best on the Justice, if you know what I mean.
And even though I like the whole premise of like something like a Justice League Dark, it's still the fact that like as odd as it sounds, I kind of just find it harder to believe that like he would exist in the same world as like Superman. Because I don't really have like a good like reason as to why. Because it's kind of like, you know, obviously in the DC universe anything can happen. But just for whatever reason, like when I first heard that he was going to be incorporated in the main DC universe with New 52, I was like, what? No, I don't believe that. Like, he doesn't fit.
It kind of undercuts all the magic in a cult.
A little bit, yeah.
He fits also a little bit more in the Marvel universe, honestly, in my opinion.
I feel like the thing with Constantine as well is that with Vertigo, I feel like he has more wiggle room. You can do more crazy things that mean more. Exactly. And like then in the DC universe, like, no, you can't just like take over the world with a bunch of like magic demon shit. Yeah. Because, you know, there's a status quo to uphold.
They kind of have to like tame him down a little bit in DC universe, because, you know, in Vertigo, like, he is a chain smoking, you know, he's kind of an asshole. Whereas in the New 52, like, he was still the same, but like I don't think
he's kind of censored a little bit.
Yeah, so like I don't think he smokes, or at least if he does, he doesn't smoke as frequently.
I think he has smoked in the books before, like. But yeah, I don't think it's frequently.
Because like if you read like the original Hellblazer by Jamie Delano, I think is his name. Like pretty much every panel, he's either smoking a cigarette or he's lighting up a new cigarette. Don't smoke, kids. But it's just kind of like that. That's just the character. He's always got like a cigarette in his hand, or you know, he's puffing away at him.
So yeah, Constantine. I mean, he's a cool character, and he definitely has his following. It's just we're not sure if the DC universe is the best place for him to be right now, because I feel like I've heard nothing of the Hellblazer book, and I feel like it has no. I wouldn't. Okay, so I don't want to say it has no consequences, because you could say that about like almost any of the DC books, because most of them don't cross over, and you don't see the main you don't see the effects of a lot of books overlap into the main DC universe, unless if they're like a huge solicited event. And Hellblazer has just been kind of like really, really behind the scenes lately, and like I don't even see solicitations for it anymore. I just like, oh, I guess Hellblazer is.
Oh, they got canceled?
I don't think it got canceled, but they just
aren't promoting it that much.
Yeah, there's literally no promotion for it.
Like,
so.
I don't know who's writing it. I don't know who's doing the artwork or anything like that. It's just kind of like he's, and I don't know. Maybe that's their intention to kind of, even though he's in the main DC universe, maybe that's intentional. Where it's like, yeah, he's in the DC universe, but he's still off doing his good old, lone wolf Constantine things.
Besides whenever Swamp Thing shows up.
Yeah, but that also makes sense, because I think Constantine first made his appearance in Swamp Thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I got that. That makes sense. Like they would be intertwined and stuff like that.
Yeah, they've got their own little special bond going on, very special bond. But to kind of focus a little bit back more on topic, we also got a few things going on with the Team Wonder, which is Wonder Woman's team. So I also want to talk about
That's the one I'm looking forward to the most.
Honestly, yeah, it's really cool that you got Wonder Woman leading a magic-based team. And
I love mystical teams. I love Zatanna. Zatanna's one of my all-time favorite DC characters, and I love Dr. Fate. And I don't know much about Etrigan. I've seen him in the Justice League Dark movie. But I'm just really excited for this team. It's one of my all-time favorite lineups right now.
We have Dr. Fate on the team, which is cool because we haven't seen him too much in Rebirth. We also have like I said before, Etrigan the Demon and Enchantress, which kind of leads into the fact that this is a book.
Okay, let's just agree to disagree. It's Swamp Thing, guys. That's clearly
I want it to be Raven so bad. I don't like Enchantress. I love Raven.
Honestly, I every time I see Raven show up, I just get a little bit uncomfortable because I feel like she should be much older. All I see is like the.
Agree. She really has just been made a little
I don't
too
like
young.
her being
and
like.
Besides, I'm pretty sure she was older in Teen Titans, the New 52 version.
She's
always struck me as a character that should be older than Tim Drake, at least.
For sure. And for now, it's like, oh yeah, she's like, I think she seems at least a little bit younger than Tim, appearance-wise. She looks like she's just like barely a teenager, like a preteen, and like for some reason they have
a little older than Damien.
The answer is don't think about it.
Despite the fact when she was on the new Teen Titans, she basically was like an adult. But okay, we can Sure, she's on the newest incarnation of the Teen Titans, and she looks like one of the youngest members. That works too. So to move along before we get stuck forever, I want to move on to Team Flash, which has a member. Which Team Flash is going by the name Team Wisdom, and all their costumes are orange. And you got Adam, Ryan Choi, Harley Quinn, which you know how I feel about Harley Quinn.
Questionable decision.
Very questionable.
Say the least.
Thing. They gotta incorporate her at some point.
Man, if they can incorporate Harley Quinn to a book, you can also, incorporate.
I hate this idea so much.
I love the idea. I just hate the idea that you got to get Harley Quinn and everything because she sells.
I feel like whenever somebody pitches a new book in DC right now, they're always like, needs more Harley Quinn.
It just taints the feel, honestly. I'm just like, this is all looking really great, and then you got Harley Quinn, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, okay. Honestly, if you take out Harley Quinn, it would be like a very serious team, but then you see Harley Quinn, there's like, why though?
I really don't like anything about Harley Quinn. I feel like she's a very abrasive character that does not deserve to be in a multiversal book on the Justice League. Like, what can she do? What can she do?
You not see that hammer she's
bring
wielding?
Sales. That's what she can do. She can bring money.
Why isn't Katana on the team? She'd be such a better fit.
Katana is a much better fit.
Yeah, she's been on the Justice League before. And then there's so many more powerful characters that you could have that would be more useful than Harley, but Harley's the fan favorite, so you gotta get Harley.
I find that a little debatable. I mean, is she really that big of a fan favorite nowadays?
I feel like in 2018
world, yes.
Walk into a Hot Topic. That's a majority of the merchandise there is like.
Well,
go to any Halloween party.
I feel like most
Halloween parties, comic conventions, like pretty much all the women are Harley Quinns. Deadpools are all over the place.
I feel like mainstream comic book fans are like, yeah, Harley Quinn's great, but then when you get into the comic book fans, I think everyone's tired of her now. Like, like
it's like Damian Wayne a couple years ago. He used to be absolutely everywhere, but then people just got kind of sick of him.
And Damian's a good character. That's the thing.
He's a very good character. So was Harley Quinn at one point. We can't forget that she was
but now she's just
interesting character.
Yeah, and she was great in the pre-52, and even had some.
I'd argue she wasn't very good in the pre-New 52, but I would completely side with her when it comes to her appearances in that universe.
She has her place. This isn't it. She's being pushed and forced everywhere. And
the only time outside of the Batman animated series, that universe, that I've ever felt that she really worked was, and still is, Batman White Knight. Because she fits in seamlessly, because that story is about the Joker, or Jack Napier. I guess that's the name they're going with now.
Okay, I might have an idea here for instead of Harley Quinn, how about the whole team are Harley Quinns? Because what better way to sell a crap ton of comics?
More Harley Quinn.
The whole team of Harleys.
Oh my goodness! Please don't do this to me.
Harley. Have Suicide Squad movie Harley, Batman animated series Harley, just different universes. There you go.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't even mind an event where they just address the oversaturation of Harley Quinn, and they're like, "Yeah, here, have a bunch of Harleys."
Yeah. I feel like the character that a lot of people compare her to nowadays is Gwenpool, but I think that's been a fountain.
Or Deadpool.
Nope, do not bring Gwenpool into this. Gwenpool is my baby.
Yeah, I
love Gwenpool so much.
Poor Gwenpool getting canceled.
Robin, turn your location on. I want to fight.
I actually kind of like Gwenpool.
Gwenpool is amazing. It's one of the best new characters that Marvel has created in these new relaunches, and I will fight anyone to the death about that. Everyone's just read the first few issues, and they're like, oh, she's just like a Deadpool copycat. But if you've read up until this point, it is one of the most creative and amazing and mind-blowing storylines that Marvel is producing right now, and it's so sad that it's getting canceled.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss, Stansalot.
Thank you. I'll accept condolences in chocolate.
I actually agree with you on Gwenpool when it comes to that, but with Harley Quinn, it's just people compare her to Gwenpool and Deadpool because the characters have pushed a lot. But there's a lot more to go off of with Deadpool and Gwenpool than, say, Harley Quinn, because she's a character. Let's be fair here. She was created for one purpose in the beginning: to be a henchwoman to the Joker.
Exactly. She's just a henchwoman.
People forget she was just created to pop out of the cake in her first appearance episode, and she didn't even do that.
Okay, but I mean, there's this whole other aspect of Harley's psychological issues that can be addressed in a very nice way if it's properly written. If they get, for example, Jeff Lemire, who did Moon Knight in Marvel, he addressed the mental issues of Moon Knight in a very nice way. So if they do the same thing for Harley, they could actually give her a deep, serious, meaningful series that could actually develop her character and give her more likability.
I think
they don't want to. They want to make her like Deadpool.
Keeping her as the kind of wacky.
But it doesn't work with her.
Hero, whatever she's doing nowadays, I think DC are content with that.
Where she's in Coney Island, despite the fact that she's also on the Suicide Squad.
But they don't really care. They're just kind of like, yeah, she sells. Stick her on whatever team or stick her in her solo series. It doesn't have to make sense.
Well,
it's so annoying.
To be fair,
it doesn't even have to be like a contemporary series. It could be like a flashback just to explain everything about her.
But anyways, they might have explained. They might have explained the continuity there, but I'm not reading it. I don't want to touch that book. For some reason, I bought 10 issues of it because I was buying almost every Rebirth book, and then I don't know why I did that to myself. I just hurt myself.
It sucks.
But anyways, back to Team not Team Wonder, the Team Wisdom.
Wisdom.
It's also being led by Flash and Cyborg, and they're kind of teaming up there. And then you've got Damian Wayne as well, also on the team. So
again, with Harley Quinn, like he's just in too many books.
Yeah. I'm not sure where she fits into the Team Wisdom aspect.
Are you saying Harley Quinn's not wise? She's got like a PhD.
She cheated. She cheated to get that PhD. What are you?
That's an integral part of her backstory.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
how many of you have not cheated on like a test at some point in your school?
Me.
Oh, come on.
Really?
Really?
What?
Seriously, I've never cheated.
Nobody's that good of a. No, nobody's that goody two shoes.
I cheated on my final exam in maths, like my senior year of high school, because I was just like, "This is stupid." I'm gonna cheat.
I hate that so many writers keep on like relying on like to make Harley Quinn more interesting. In plots, they always bring up the fact that she has like a PhD or she's a doctor, and this is why she's useful. It's like, no, she cheated to get there. She's not smart, and like. The thing is, like, every time that she should be in a situation like that where they need to rely on her PhD skills, she should fail miserably. And she never does because she's a Mary Sue. So there's a little bit of heat from your boy Danny.
It's okay, Croc. Just calm down. It's gonna be all right.
I'm not all right.
It'll all be over soon.
You'll get your PhD one of these days too.
Yeah.
You'll treat your way to a PhD soon.
It's actually pretty funny because in her second television appearance, you guys know the crummy Batman TV show, The Batman?
Yeah, I kind of like that show. How dare you?
It's okay. It's good for the last 2 seasons. She was introduced in season 4, and they kind of revitalized her backstory because this was not long after the animated series ended. In fact, they were still doing Justice League at the time, and they changed her backstory to be a woman who was working on a TV show, a psychological TV show, but she was failing miserably because she only got an online degree. That was it. And it was funny.
That's amazing.
And it was written by Paul Dini.
That's cool.
So it's always proved that her degree in psychiatry
she's kind of a hack.
BS.
Yeah.
I think Paul Dini always kind of understood the character best out of like anybody else. Not because one he
much more than Bruce Timm.
Well, Bruce Timm, I feel like he's better at art than writing. There are times where I feel like Paul Dini kind of reined him in. Bruce Timm would be like, "I want to do this," and he's like, "Oh, let's not do."
Bruce Timm is excellent at character design, but he does need someone to kind of reel him in when it comes to his writing.
Yeah. And again, I think that's where Paul Dini came in handy with Batman animated series, is because he was better at writing than Bruce Timm. Again, I love Bruce Timm as an artist and stuff like that, but not the best writer.
I like that Ryan Choi is on this team. I think he's a cool character that doesn't get much to do.
Isn't he there because he's growing in popularity thanks to the Legends of Tomorrow having?
I think it's more just like it's a crossover book between Justice League of America, Teen Titans, Suicide Squad, and Titans, despite the fact that there are no Titans on this book. That's what confuses me. You have the Suicide Squad, but you have no Titans.
My question is, why is Harley Quinn on the team when Nightwing isn't on the team? Don't you
Exactly.
He actually is an honorary member of the Justice League.
Mm-hmm. So there's probably an explanation for why they aren't there. It's just we have to read it. We just gotta wait. We really got to move on though to the last team, which is, I'm pretty sure, Team Entropy, led by Batman. And Batman is leading a team of Lobo, Beast Boy, Lex Luthor, Superman. He's Superman again, so that's good. There was a moment there where he ripped off the S, but apparently it's back in this promo picture, so that's good. Because I really like Lex Luthor, Superman. And then we've got Deathstroke. So...
Deathstroke? No.
Yeah, right?
Lobo, yes.
Yeah,
Lobo and Beast Boy.
Why is Lobo wielding?
I would love to see Beast Boy interacting with Batman.
I don't really like this team that much, honestly. I feel like this is a team where it's like, oh, it got all the only character I really kind of like on it is Beast Boy, because he's just so out of place here.
Well, even the positioning in the picture,
Beast Boy just interacting with
it almost looks like Beast Boy's kind of like, I don't really want to be a part of the team.
Beast Boy's standing right next to Lobo, and he's barely half his height. It's some great height there. Yeah, you got like all these big guys, and you just got Beast Boy standing there. So I really like that Beast Boy's on the team. I think he's he deserves to be there, unlike some of the Suicide Squad members. And I get what they're trying to do, because the pitch for this book is like,
no
I
justice.
I should probably read the pitch, maybe, to give more context. But the pitch is, in this 4-issue miniseries, the supervillain Brainiac arrives on Earth with a dire warning for the Justice League. There's a threat coming to destroy Earth, and one that the heroes are ill-equipped to handle. So Brainiac thinks he holds the key to victory, but means combining members of the Justice League with some of the most dangerous villains in the DC universe and sending them into battle against this extinction-level event.
This sounds like a horrible idea.
The stakes are the absolute highest. If one of the teams fails, it's game over. So that's kind of the context of why there's villains there. They gotta do a crazy team up.
So that sounds like a comic industry challenge that I just wrote.
A little bit of a plug there. So I got a little bit of a transition here, and I want to see what you guys think.
Okay.
Justice League #1. Justice League No Justice #1 hits comic shops on May 9th. But will that really happen, considering all the delays that have been going on at DC Comics right now? What do you guys think?
Probably.
That leads us right into our next discussion about the DC delays, considering a whole bunch of books are just being delayed from the span of months to weeks. And this is the current ones we have written down right now. There might be more. But we got Swamp Thing having a winter special, which is going to be delayed 1 week. That one is
no longer going to be winter.
Right? It's the reason why this one was delayed was there was a printing issue, and that was more of just like, a freak kind of accident.
Mm-hmm.
While Doomsday Clock #4, which is a monthly series, has been delayed 1 month. And there's going to be like 10 issues of this series. So this book is probably going to end in 2019 now. So this book is going to... Honestly, I haven't read any of Doomsday Clock besides the first issue. And I was going to read it. I was going to read it in trade. And now it's just going to be like... I'm going to get all the spoilers by the time it comes out in trade, though. That's the one problem. So how do you guys feel about Doomsday Clock?
So, full confession, I've not been reading DC in about 9 months, so I'm very much out of it.
You should get back on it.
Yeah, Jake.
Yeah, and I already told Danny that I haven't read it in a while, so I need to catch up. I'm just finishing up my X-Men reading list.
Yes. Got it.
So what happened is that Doomsday Clock is delayed by a whole month?
Yeah, a whole month.
That is quite strange, considering that the book has been extremely hyped and had a lot of time to be worked on. But yeah. I understand this happens. Like,
yeah, this is comic world.
Actually, a very bad book. You guys know Batman, All-Star Batman and Robin. Mm-hmm. Now, compared to that book, the delays on this one seem like nothing. Like, it took like 3 years for an issue to come out at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the time, it actually has to do with the artist, where they can't get the art finished in time.
Mm-hmm.
And Gary Frank, that's his name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gary Frank does a very realistic style.
Yeah, no, Gary Frank's art is astounding, and
it is extremely
we don't know what
good.
The cause of the delays are. Rumor has it that it might be due to the editor at DC being switched up. I'm pretty sure.
Well, if it was Marvel switching over to DC, then it would be definitely a giant delay.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, Marvel's not even dealing with delaying their books. They're just like, you know what?
No, they're delaying their movies instead.
Oh, DC's the one canceling their movies. So you got a little bit of...
So it's a flip-flop.
Yeah, right? But Batman Creature of the Night was also delayed for a month. Immortal Men have been through the ringer. And here's the thing. The New Age of Heroes, which is Immortal Men, The Terrifics,
the
Sideways,
only book so far to come
Silencer.
Out right now is Damage, right?
I think Silencer came out.
Well, I read Damage, and I can see why these books have been delayed. They're very, 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 very rushed.
That's sad to hear.
It looks like the new too.
The thing about those books, where they were supposed to come out in December, and then they got delayed once, and now Immortal Men was pushed back to April. I mean, no, Immortal Men was pushed back to March. Now it's been pushed back to April. So delay upon delay. So
that's quite a lot, though. I mean, don't they want to wrap up the event by now?
I mean, I guess we're going to be waiting a little bit before we get to see the first thing from the New Age of Heroes. But
honestly, I don't even think this New Age of Heroes is really going to work out.
It's basically just Marvel.
Exactly.
That's the thing. If you really think about it, you got okay. Let me lay it down to you like this. You got Damage, which is basically the Incredible Hulk. The Terrifics, Fantastic Four. Sideways, Spider-Man. Mortal Men, X-Men? I don't really know that much about the Immortal Men, so I'm sorry. And Silencer, who, I don't really have a comparison for Silencer, but
the Punisher?
Maybe.
The name is similar.
But yeah, it's basically just like, oh, Marvel, you need to get your stuff like together because we're going to do your own Marvel universe if you don't.
And
so,
I've read
I feel like
Damage,
it's just DC,
and it definitely feels like the Incredible Hulk, like line for line, like you could feel like at the end of the book, it's promoting Suicide Squad, so you know exactly what kind of book this is going to turn out to be. Now I could be wrong, but in some cases the delays are warranted.
Batman and the Signal, which the first issue I'm pretty sure came out. That one was delayed for 2 weeks. And
that one gets me a little upset because unlike the other books where we don't really know what they're going to be like, Batman and the Signal is actually really good.
I haven't read it yet, but I've heard good things and I really want to read it. I'm so behind. I haven't read Metal yet.
It reminds me a lot of Tim Drake's run as Robin. Which is a fair comparison. The two characters are kind of similar.
Both Robins.
No, they're not.
Well,
I don't really count Duke as a Robin.
Well, he was Robin. They were Robin.
Okay.
Bad. I'm not even sure if that was a pun.
That's
that was
like
just bad.
Saying, that girl, what's her name? She pretended to be Batgirl for a little while. Her name was Misfit.
Misfit.
That's like counting her as Batgirl.
Oh man. Yeah.
She wants to count her as Batgirl. Because she technically was for like an issue.
Wasn't that in Gail Simone's Birds of Prey?
I think so. And it showed like Stephanie Brown's dead body and like that whole thing, and even though she wasn't dead.
Fun stuff. Yeah, I still consider Duke Thomas to be a Robin, but
I consider him to be a new part of the Bat family. No problem.
Definitely a part of the Bat family.
But I wouldn't call him Robin.
Can I be a part of the Bat family? I mean, I know I'm in my mid-20s, but I'll be adopted by some rich student, put on a suit.
I'd love that.
Like, hey man, Batman, pal, Bruce, do you want to adopt me and give me a whole bunch of money so I can buy comics and buy my own place and all that stuff? Maybe get a new cult.
Honestly, yeah, Jake, I could see it. I want it to happen now.
I mean, I don't know if I'm too old for Bruce, but it's like, hey, look, man, if I shave, I look like I'm 12. So does that count?
If you are too old, then you just continuity change it and make you younger. So.
Sure.
I don't think you have to worry too bad.
You could do a Raven.
I bet those comic book characters are so happy that they always get retconned to be younger.
Yeah. Dan DiDio is just sitting there like, and this character's got to be younger, and this character's got to be younger. Can't have Dick Grayson around. Too old.
I don't know if I necessarily would want to be younger. I'm fine being in my mid, but yeah, if I could just stay at this age for the rest of my life, that'd be grand.
Yeah. Anyways, I think we've talked about. Have we talked about No Justice enough? I think we're ready to move on.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to mention.
One more thing I really want to bring up. The concept of it seems good, but it sounds familiar. I feel like this is done before. And you know where? They're taking more things from Injustice, because this has been done there too.
I was thinking Justice League versus Suicide Squad, because...
That too! This concept has been done before, and Brainiac as the villain, it makes sense.
He's not the villain, he's gonna be on the team, I'm pretty sure.
Which Brainiac? Because there actually is a hero Brainiac.
I know, it's not Brainiac 5, it's just straight up Brainiac.
It would be so much better if it was just Brainiac 5. Like, this concept, like, you can just point out all the plot holes and just...
I don't think so, actually. I think that we got some A-list writers on this book. We got Scott Snyder. Scott Snyder really wrote Batman, and he's writing Metal right now. James Tynion IV, who writes Detective Comics.
I love him!
And Joshua Williamson from The Flash, and he's also been really good. So
Joshua Williamson also writes really good comic.
And then the art's Francis Manapul, and Francis Manapul is just a legend in the art. On the art, he did New 52 Flash, and he's doing Trinity right now, or he was doing Trinity.
I've heard really good things about New 52 Flash's art.
It's amazing.
I've heard that too, actually.
So I mean, you got that going on for it. So I mean, I'm gonna give it a chance for sure. I'm really interested in seeing where this goes. You got characters like Martian Manhunter and Starro and Etrigan the Demon. There's no way I'm not checking this out.
Starro, I think, like, why Starro? That seems like a bigger threat than usually. Like, I'm sorry, who exactly even is the villain for this?
We don't know
yet. Has been said?
No, it's still on the wraps, I'm pretty sure.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, and I really like the fact that he's just there, and Superman's like recruited him on his team.
I mean, it's like throwing in...
Well, you also got Sinestro, so that's kind of a big deal. Yeah.
Is this going to tie into Doomsday Clock, is my big question.
Probably not. Doomsday Clock, I'm pretty sure, takes place a year later in continuity. I think it takes place during 2019, because we... It's a little bit...
That sounds about right.
Because considering all... Suit. Oh yeah, the new Batsuit. I'm really sad about the new Batsuit because I really, really like the Rebirth design right now.
His Rebirth design so much.
And they basically just went to back to Batman Inc. / Batman Earth 1. So
I like the Batman Inc. suit, but
I like it, but I don't need it right now.
I love the Rebirth design so much better. It's probably my favorite Batsuit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't need the change right now. You had a good thing. Why fix it if it ain't broke?
If you want to change something, change Superman's shorts. Just give him the red underwear again.
Please.
He's gonna get it.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be in Action Comics 1000.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna stay. I think it's just gonna be for that issue.
I want my Superman to have the mullet. If he doesn't have the mullet, he's not my Superman.
Okay, whatever you say.
Hashtag not my Superman. Spread it around, everyone.
But I think we should move right along now. And we're talking about the next topic, which is Captain Marvel. Yeah, our first look at Captain Marvel in the Captain Marvel movie.
I love her costume. I love her costume. I love her costume. I love her costume.
I dig it.
Okay, let me just say, that's not her final costume. That is a Kree military suit, and she will most probably change it back to the original costume after Marvel dies.
Yeah, I'm thinking like this... Like, either she'll have this outfit, like, first solo movie, and then probably in Infinity War and future movies with her.
No, I feel like this suit won't even be in the movie that long. It'll be there for
if Marvel dies early on in the movie, she's definitely going to pick up the mantle and then have the third act, or like the final battle in her red and blue.
Because we've seen the concept art for the movie where she's fighting Kree and she's wearing her classic suit.
I don't like her hair, like one of the promo pictures.
I love it.
It's totally... That was the 90s. It's set in the 90s. It's supposed to...
The 90s.
The Rachel
good
haircut.
Times. Good music. Movies were okay. Like, there's some good... Like,
there's another
TV
photo
series.
with...
But, like, grunge. That was when grunge music was going. Nirvana.
There's this one extra who has, like, ripped up jeans that looks, like, straight out from the 90s. The greatest thing.
I'm just glad they're not giving Carol Danvers like the pixie cut from the new Civil War series.
Oh,
and like
thank God. I really don't like that cut.
Because Brie Larson would not pull that look off.
Yeah, it does not look very good.
Let's be real.
Pixie cut. That's what I think. Mm-hmm. It looks kind of like the pixie cut. That's why I kind of was against it.
It's called the Rachel cut. Like that is the worldwide.
The worldwide
it's known as the Rachel cut. Because Rachel Green in Friends, played by Jennifer Aniston, had that haircut for like since 1994 till the early 2000s, and everyone had the same haircut because it was so popular.
I absolutely love the look of the costume, of the green costume. I think the actress looks pitch perfect for Miss Marvel. I'm sorry, Captain Marvel.
Brie Larson.
Miss Marvel.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this movie.
I think it looks.
I thought it would look more a bit like Alien and less tactical team, kind of looking like. I want some like alien fabrics. Why is everyone wearing leather and human fabrics? I mean, even Ronan in Guardians of the Galaxy was wearing layered leather. Yes. Like, no, give me some like alien.
But alien costumes aren't sexy, Stan. What are you talking about? They gotta go with what's hot and new for the young kids.
Oh yeah, what's cosplayable?
Or just what's practical and what can we make our actresses wear that's like comfortable and movable and flexible.
I guarantee she wouldn't.
We have
was not gonna wear like the black.
First 3 X-Men movies where everyone was wearing leather suits where they couldn't jump in it.
Well, I mean, this is also we get new suits for characters like every movie. So, like Captain America had several suits in his first movie, and then
I agree.
You got Iron Man always evolving his armor, and Ant-Man's suit's changing as well. So honestly, don't even worry about it.
When is the Hulk gonna get a new pair of pants though?
Oh, he does every single time.
They're always purple.
For some reason, even in some reason in Ragnarok, when he borrows Tony Stark's pants, they stay on. I mean, like honestly, maybe that's for the best.
I think I'm not a fan of Captain Marvel per se. I'm a fan of Shazam, Captain Marvel.
I'm a fan of Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel.
I love her costume, Monica Rambeau, her original suit.
No, it's such a
great suit. I'm a fan of Marvel, Captain Marvel.
Marvel's also.
I think more people actually know who Carol Danvers is over the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everyone knows who Carol Danvers is because she's been around for a really long time.
Yeah. And especially.
What do you guys think of her as Captain Marvel per se? Do you think she should be? You think she should be Miss Marvel before she's Captain Marvel? Like,
well, she was Miss Marvel.
I know, but I mean, like, she was Miss Marvel much longer. What I mean is, like, should the movie just be Miss Marvel instead of Captain Marvel? Because she only really Captain Marvel recently.
Sounds better as a movie than Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Like Miss Marvel, it's kind of like, is this like a Miss America contest or something like that, just with Marvel characters? What's going on here?
Something that I think isn't very mentioned very much is that Captain Marvel was, I mean, I'm going to say Carol Danvers because she wasn't Captain Marvel at the time. Carol Danvers was introduced only a couple years after Iron Man was introduced, actually. So
she's been around for a very long time.
Yeah, she's been around for a hot minute.
Warranted that she is Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
But
she only got the push when Kelly Thompson. When Kelly Sue DeConnick, something like that. I forgot her last name. Relaunched her as Captain Marvel, and then she grew in popularity like so fast. It became like a huge series that even spins off a lot of other titles like Captain Marvel and the Carol Danvers Corps and all those other series.
One thing I really want to see.
She was everywhere basically, even in A-Force.
It's kind of weird because I feel like some fans of these superheroes don't really, like, new kids, like new fans don't really know much about Carol Danvers. Like, they just assume she's like, I guess a good example would probably be Nadia Pym, where she just kind of came out of nowhere.
I wouldn't say they wouldn't know.
I love Nadia
Pym. Who
Pym.
knows who Nadia Pym is?
I love Nadia Pym.
She is, but she's actually a better example would probably be the new Miss Marvel. I think has a great costume. I don't really know anything about her, but people have been not the biggest fan of her. Some people love her. Some people
they used to be in the beginning. People used to love Miss Marvel when she first started out in the first 3 volumes. And then they started hating her when she started joining Champions, and her character changed a lot, and even her stories became. Yeah, she's a hit and miss.
Memes, like that kind of thing, from what I've heard.
She was so popular that even President Obama used her in a speech once.
Really?
Yeah, didn't you guys watch it?
No. I don't keep up with politics.
I only knew about it because it went viral everywhere.
Mm-hmm. I didn't see that because I don't know.
But anyways, one thing I really do want to see from Captain Marvel, with the costume, I really hope she gets her helmet because I love that helmet from this suit.
Never saw the helmet.
I'm kind of thinking they probably won't give her
not.
the helmet, or at least if they do, she's probably not going to wear it a whole lot, just because usually with a lot of these, if you have a hot young actor or actress, and like say the character has a helmet, they're probably going to be like, yeah, but they're pretty, so they're not going to wear the helmet.
Also, yeah, you got to have the FaceTime as well.
Has a helmet, but he didn't wear it.
Okay, I just looked it up because I don't like saying things that I'm not sure of. But yeah, President Obama honors Marvel's Sana Amino, co-creator of Kamala Khan, at the White House. That was back in 2016 in March.
Cool.
That's
was honoring modern movers and shakers as part of the Women's History Month.
I see.
Yep.
But anyways, I'm really excited to see a trailer. Now that we know that like Captain Marvel's filming, I feel like we'll get a trailer probably in several months. Still, it won't be soon because we still haven't got Ant-Man and the Wasp, and this is literally
we're getting Ant-Man and the Wasp first.
Yeah,
I cannot wait for
that. I'm interested in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like I could probably see it. Like I'm much more interested in the original Ant-Man.
I can maybe see like a teaser for Captain Marvel, like maybe around Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like maybe they'll premiere it like before Ant-Man and the Wasp, maybe like a teaser. But I'd say we probably won't get a full trailer until probably like towards the end of this year. Like maybe.
I feel like we won't see anything until Black Panther.
We didn't really get
Black
much
Panther post-credit scene,
in Spider-Man: Homecoming for Thor. We didn't really get one for Thor Ragnarok.
Here's the thing: you got Black Panther coming out, you got Infinity War coming out. Ant-Man and the Wasp is not the priority to promote right now.
No, not by any means.
Like, okay, I think Marvel is definitely going to want to promote Ant-Man and the Wasp because when the original Ant-Man came out, it came out right like 2 months right after Age of Ultron, and it didn't really rank up much in box office because people were still watching Age of Ultron. It was still in theaters at the same time.
Here's the thing: Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out 2 months.
It came out on DVD. Yeah, but when it came out on DVD, it sold like massively, and people loved it. It became one of their all-time favorite movies. And so, Ant-Man is like a cult classic right now in the superhero genre.
I think Ant-Man and the Wasp will actually do more opening weekends, and probably even like all together, like through its run financially, probably even more so than the original, just because the original, like it was a hit, but not like a massive hit. Like it took a while. Like
it was like a sleeper hit.
Kind of like a cult classic in the Marvel Cinematic Universe fans right now.
Yeah. I'd say Ant-Man and the Wasp will do better financially than the original overall. And
that depends on the quality of the film. Like,
well, Scott's also shown up a lot more in the Marvel universe. First, it was just like, oh, it's Ant-Man, and like people are making jokes. Then he shows up in Civil War, and he's going to be in Infinity War. So people are going to be like, oh, okay, let's see Ant-Man and the Wasp now because people know who these characters are.
I initially didn't have any real excitement for the character until I read Nick Spencer's Ant-Man, and I kind of just picked it up on a whim.
Ant-Man?
What?
I know there's like been more than one Ant-Man.
Yeah, there's
several. There's Hank, there's Scott, there's Eric.
Yep.
Eric's my favorite.
Likes Eric. We don't talk about Eric.
Are they gonna have like because I know the one thing about Ant-Man that a lot of people point out is that he has a million different identities and that
a million
different identities, and he beat his wife.
That's Hank Pym for you. You got Giant Man, you got Yellow Jacket, you got Ant-Man. Those are a few. He was Wasp, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he was Wasp briefly at one point.
He was Wasp.
There's other ones that I'm forgetting. But yeah, he's had a lot of identities. And we aren't going to touch on them.
The Wasp probably has more fans than Ant-Man right now.
Would you say? Why would you say that?
Let's think about it. I mean, there's a reason why they used her more often in the later Avengers comics. Like,
well, I think it's more because Hank Pym's kind of Ultron right now.
Yeah.
He's kind of too busy being.
Actually, there was an actor who was cast in Ant-Man and the Wasp. I think his name was Walton something. Walton
Goggins.
Oh, I love Walton Goggins.
Yeah. And they're saying that he may be playing either Eric O'Grady or maybe even Taskmaster or like Crossfire.
Who do you guys think is going to be the villain in Ant-Man?
I'm pretty sure the villain is Ghost.
Oh yeah, the villain's going to be Ghost, but I think it's going to be like a female Ghost. I think they said.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the movie is going to basically focus on getting Michelle Pfeiffer's Wasp back from the microverse.
So those are a few little plot points that have been, floating around. There's a few set pictures of Ant-Man. We finally get to see Evangeline Lilly in costume, and I think she looks amazing. I love Evangeline Lilly ever since I watched Lost, so I'm really excited to see her finally suit up. So
I'm just not a fan of the hair, honestly.
I haven't seen
that's
image,
different now
actually.
for the new movie.
I haven't
Why are you not a fan of the hair? Because it's not 90s hair.
I just don't like that haircut.
That image, actually, I'm gonna find it.
Which one? The new Ant-Man one?
Did you notice that the costumes of Ant-Man and the Wasp right now both have like the symbols of their
you got
insects on them?
Ant-Man
like
suit.
Ant-Man's suit has an ant.
You got a wasp on the Wasp suit,
and the Wasp has a wasp on it. Yep. I mean, it looks like something more explicit, but if you don't look at it too much, it looks.
Yeah. The Wasp.
Everyone noticed that.
I feel like that one's gonna be suit might be changing a little bit in the future.
I'm looking for it now.
Might go for a little bit of design change.
There she just saw it.
You just pointed out. Oh my god.
Yeah, you're never gonna be able to unsee that now.
I'm 12.
So yeah, that's the Wasp suit for you.
Now. And of course, the way it looks is just from her boobs and then going down.
Yep.
It's just that just puts on a whole nother level of, oh my god, what the heck? Whoever was creating this was just having fun.
Thing is that the original Wasp suit kind of looks like that, but the
it does.
Wasp head is more spread toward the shoulders, so it doesn't exactly look like what it looks like in the MCU suit, and it doesn't have linings around it to give it more shape.
Yeah.
So it's just that was a bad choice of design, I would say.
A little bit of a faux pas.
Also, I'd like to point out that aren't wasps not yellow?
No, they're yellow.
I think you're thinking of Yellow Jackets.
Nope, yellow and black. That's Wasp.
Well, I don't.
I know because I was stung by one, and ever since then I've had like an animosity towards wasps.
Croc is also working.
Oh god, they are yellow. I hate these things. They look like a
backstory time. When I was younger, here's the thing about wasps: they can sting you more than one time, and so flashback time. Flashbacks with Croc Block.
This is going to go in very disturbing directions.
We find ourselves at a camping scene. I'm camping with my family, and we're with this kind of group camp thing, and we're out in this nice little wilderness area, and my sister's with me, and my sister's friend, and they tell me, hey, you should go. She's playing the queen, and we're playing her workers or something. I don't know what game this was. It wasn't a fun one. My sister made a lot of games like this when I was younger because she was, 3 years older than me. But she tells me, hey, you guys need to move this log. Fortune has it that there was a wasp nest inside of that log. So we're moving it.
Oh,
and a whole bunch of wasps come out. And so from Jenna's perspective, my sister, she just starts seeing us start running in circles, drop the log and just start running in circles. And she doesn't know what's going on. So we're just running in circle like maniacs. And because we've been stung like multiple times at this point, and we're just freaking out. And Jenna's just so confused. And then like 5 minutes later, not 5 minutes later, but like 30 seconds later, she joins us running in circles. We left the camp that day, and we did not go back.
I have a similar story, actually.
Oh, man.
Except it was involving a bee, and it was one bee, and we don't really have many killer bees here in Florida, but I didn't know that at the time. So I was like 7 years old, and my old house had a playground. I was playing on the playground. Then this giant bee, like really giant bee, comes running towards me, and I get stung by it, but it wouldn't die. I was running like crazy, and 5 seconds later, I see the bee fall to the ground and die. I'm like,
So, bee landed on my shirt the other day. That was cool.
We don't really get too many bees here, except for
not
really
friends with
hot
insects at all. I have a massive fear of all insects.
Here's the thing, though. The weird thing about a bee landing on my shirt is it wasn't I was outside. I was hanging up this shirt in my room. I look at my shirt. There's just a bee sitting on there. I'm just like, oh, I guess I'm dying today. That's nice.
That's when you capture it and start cultivating honey.
Oh, did you hear?
Make a business out of it.
Yeah, there you go. Or even make a business. It's just like in the morning, you wake up, eat a biscuit, and it's kind of like, hey, bee, pick up the bee, squirt some honey on there, bam. Get yourself a nice,
one bee.
Yeah, just one bee. Like, I'm no insectologist, but I'm pretty sure that's all you need.
Insectologist.
You just grab the little bees, you're like, you sprinkle some honey, bam.
I don't think that's how it works.
I don't think one bee can produce that much
I'm no
honey.
expert, but I think that's how it works, you guys. And if you don't have a bee, then you can just grab a bear. You can just grab like a bear and just.
I don't think bears produce honey.
I have a rabbit.
Have you never seen the bear containers with the honey, the little bear honey bottles? I'm pretty sure it's the fact that bears have honey as well.
Okay, a little bit of a conspiracy here.
Have you seen the Funko Pops from the Infinity War movie yet?
No, I didn't know they had that line yet.
They revealed a lot of new details. For example, Thor is carrying the ultimate Mjolnir from the Ultimate Universe.
Jabberjock or whatever.
Yeah.
Jabberjorn? Is that it?
I think so. Iron Man has kind of like these wing things.
Yeah, because it was in the Lego sets. And you get to see Jabberjorn.
Iron Man has these wings, kind of like gliding wings in the back of his
the Ultimate Mjolnir? You mean
armor?
The Ultimate Universe?
Yeah.
So the Ultimate Universe exists in this
Spider-Man one isn't actually called Spider-Man, it's just called Iron Spider. So it may have the tentacles as well.
Is this for Infinity War?
Yeah.
Yep.
So the Ultimate Universe exists in the MCU.
No, he just has his weapon from the
no, he just has the hammer.
But that doesn't make any sense.
No, don't overthink it, Ashley. You're overthinking it.
No,
it's just
the answer is don't think
it makes more sense if you don't think about it.
It's not that he has. It's not that he went to the Ultimate Universe and he obtained this weapon. It's just that this weapon exists inside the MCU, and Thor now wields it.
In the Ultimate Universe, a lot of people can obtain the Mjolnir, however you pronounce it.
Jabberjorn.
Hold it. Like, what was his name? What's his name? He was it. Why can't I remember his name? Yeah, he was. Magneto was able to wield Mjolnir.
He wasn't able to wield it. He was able to.
He was able to hold it.
No, he wasn't able to hold it. The thing was, he like messed with like.
I don't know. Ultimatum sucked.
It was magnets and stuff.
His powers of to.
He used his powers.
He was trying to control the magnetic field through the.
Yeah, he wasn't worthy. He was just able to manipulate the hammer.
But it was clearly the 616 version in the movies.
No, it's not that. It's just that he obtains a weapon. Don't overthink it.
I will overthink it. I'm a nerd. I will overthink everything.
It's just another version of Mjolnir. It's just a new Mjolnir. That's all you need to know.
But
it's a new Mjolnir.
They aren't going to overcomplicate it for the new viewers who are just like, oh, I just want to see.
Well, obviously they change a lot for.
Yeah, they will. So don't overthink it, and you'll be fine. It's not a big deal. It's just they're probably not going to reconstruct Mjolnir. They're just going to move on with Jabberjorn. Or whatever it's called. If I feel like there's going to be some fan who's like, you're pronouncing that wrong, and it's irritating me. I'm sorry to that one fan, but also.
How's it spelled?
I always thought it was Mjorn. Like I had no idea.
Oh no! Well, there's Mjolnir, and then there's the Ultimate Universe weapon, which is called Jabberjorn.
I just kind of had a combination of the two.
I'm not sure you pronounce the J because in Mjolnir there's a J in your say, so it's like it may be
just like in
well, you do pronounce the J in Mjolnir. It's just like it's like a Y.
Yeah.
It's like
so
Mjolnir or something like that.
In the Germanic languages, J's are always pronounced as Y's.
Okay, so Jabberjorn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jabberjorn.
Anyways, something interesting about this podcast is we've got curators. Don't know if you know that. Basically.
Where? Oh my god.
And that's relevant because this is a Comics Amino podcast, and Comics Aminos is run by the leader, Miss America, and her curators. And we've got two of them right here, with IrishManJake and Sir Stansalot. And
you, Danny. I'm just here for.
Oh yeah, you're the curator too.
Yeah, surprise. Robin the Girl Wonder. We love you though, and we're gonna let you participate in this Q&A segment we're gonna be having. So we got a few questions, a lot that are pretty interesting that we wanted to answer. So we are going to start out with what is your favorite part of being a curator?
Absolute power.
Good one.
Nothing, because I'm not a curator.
Love you, Ashley.
I love you too, Danny.
So I guess my favorite part is just kind of interacting with my fellow curators here on the Curator chat. That's a lot of fun. Especially when Stan and OG and Croc are all trying to teach me new words that the kids are using these days.
Oh yeah, we had that whole conversation about slang.
I think out of
I stayed up till 8 a.m. in the morning for that day.
What were a few examples we had? Oh man,
I only knew like 3
Slay
out of like 100. Shows how much of an old man I am. So yeah, that's fun, and also interacting with the people in the community as well.
Jake, you got clocked on how old you are.
I'm not ashamed to admit I'm so out of the loop. I have no idea what the kids are saying these days.
Many times, coming to me, I'm like, no, go to Danny or somebody. I'm not a curator. Multiple times, people have gone to me saying, can you help me solve this problem where somebody is bullying me? I'm like, I'm not the right person to go to. I can talk to them, but
I think my favorite thing about being a curator is the ability to is being able to silence people.
You're saying that in front of two different curators, Danny.
Hey, they know what it means to have to take care of loose ends. So I'm
Ooh,
I'm a loose end.
Bring down.
I've had to dispose of bodies. It's crazy.
What is one thing about yourself that not many people know? That question was asked by the comic geek kid, and he also asked the question, "What is your favorite part about being a curator?" So I forgot to mention that. Shout out to you, my man. I'm gonna kick us off with this one. I'm gonna say one thing I think that I'd like to share about myself is that I was not prepared for this question, and I'm going to give it to somebody else.
At first I was like, did he cut out? Is the recording over? What's going on?
Is anyone ready? Because I am clearly not.
I got something.
Okay, Jake, you go. Or Ashley.
I guess I'll go first. I got a light one, and I got a somewhat serious one. Something a lot of people don't know about me is that, like most people, you guys know this, most people don't realize how much of a nerd I am around my bunny.
No, I know this. For sure I know this.
You know that
I do too.
Most people don't.
All she does is talk about her bunny.
But another thing people don't really know about me, and I don't like to talk about it much, is that I actually have something called amplified musculoskeletal pain syndrome, or some people know it as CRPS. It's similar to fibromyalgia, and it's an illness I have. God. It's actually why I joined, because I just couldn't get out of the house. So I saw
I'm so sorry.
And I thought it'd be fun to join. Nah, it's fine. I've had it for about 4 years. And because I went on Amino, it gave me just kind of an opportunity to talk to people, so I couldn't really leave the house. Now, I have gotten a lot better over the years. I've gotten better at managing it, and I am back in school. But at the time, I was not in class, and I was pretty much homeschooled.
I'm very, very sorry to hear that, Ashley.
No, it's okay, dude. It's fine. It's just something I don't really talk about, but it is something that people don't really know about me, but some people do.
Mm-hmm.
What about you guys? You got a less depressing note?
Okay.
I don't really know, just because I'm usually pretty open with my things about myself with people. So I don't really know if there's one thing that I don't have deep dark secrets or anything like that. Aside from trying to take, but come on, who isn't trying to do that? So yeah, I got nothing.
Are you sure you don't have any deep dark secrets hidden in the closet?
I mean, I've aside from where I hid the bodies. No, I don't.
Okay.
Show us the bodies.
What about you, Danny?
Oh, me. Here's a fun little fact about your boy Danny. Here is I have this thing going on called the Batman audio series, and I'm
oh my god.
I'm really excited to work on it. Right now we are.
That's not a secret, though.
Hashtag promo.
with the amount of exposure it has, it might as well be a secret. It's in development hell right now, but something I'm passionate about. Despite the fact that it's a bit of an experience. It's a bit of a troublesome, toilsome, kind of. I want to find the right word. Adventure, but it's good.
Uh-huh.
It's a lot of fun. Really like writing for it. We kind of had a breakthrough with what we're doing with the first season, and I'm really excited for it to come out, and eventually it will come out. So keep your eyes peeled.
We'll keep our eyes peeled for that.
Yes, please. How about you, Stansalot?
Well, this is something very hard for me to share. I might get a lot of hate for it, and I don't really share this with people normally, but I like pineapple on pizza.
Wait, what kind of pizza?
No. Well, this call's gotta end. It's been a good podcast, but you gotta go, Stansalot. We can't have that.
I do like pineapple pizza. It's actually pretty good. I used to be a hater until I tried it, and it turns out to be really good.
No.
Not here.
It just works. The savory ham with the sweet pineapple works so well with the cheese. No. It's really good.
You take a pineapple off that pizza.
Man. What, you want that with anchovies, man? Yeah.
Okay, on a more serious note, something that many people don't know about me. Something that many people don't know about me in the community is that I'm actually Syrian, which is the country with the ISIS and war and stuff right now.
I knew that.
Yeah, I told you that.
The first day I met you.
But thankfully, I'm in a safer environment right now, and I'm not living in Syria.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Yeah, thank God. It's just kind of a mess in that country right now.
Yeah, it really is.
It's really good that you're in a much safer place.
I'm not really qualified to say anything. Anyways, we got a question from Challenger saying, what are you guys' favorite music bands?
Mind if I start this one? Ooh, I got quite a few. You go ahead and start this one.
Okay. So I think it's common knowledge for most people that I'm a huge music addict. I listen to it almost 24/7. But I'm a rocker metalhead. So favorite bands: Iron Maiden, my number one. Give me some Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Jimi Hendrix. Some Amon Amarth, Amorphis, Elvati, Equilibrium. Yeah, pretty much. Rock and heavy metal is my jam, and I will gladly spread the word of great music to you lovely people of comics to me.
I am a big fan of rock as well. I love the band Semisonic. Do you guys know who that is?
No idea.
They did Closing Time Open. I'm not going to sing on the chat, but but I love that band so much. I'm actually this is probably geekier than any comic thing I've ever done. I like Pat Benatar.
No idea who that is.
Exactly.
Me neither.
She's the one your mom probably listens to. She's the like, just ask her who Pat Benatar is. She'll probably know. Not your dad, just your mom. And I actually also am a bit of a. I love hard rock. I actually like Metallica. And my favorite
80s
song.
Metallica's the best.
And I like Foo Fighters, and my favorite song is probably the live version of Stairway to Heaven.
Ooh, nice.
Yes. Like, just for those of you who, for whatever reason, have been thinking of rock your whole life and have not heard Stairway to Heaven, but do yourself a favor and listen.
Yeah, you're not really a really big rock fan until you really listen to Stairway to Heaven, especially that live version.
Are you even like a music fan if you haven't listened to
Stairway to Heaven is a must if you listen to music at all.
I like the original version, like the recorded version, but that live version just
Robert Plant on like his vocals live, Jimmy Page on guitars, John Bonham on bass, John Bonham on drums.
I also like Kansas. Not the place. I've never been there before. It probably is nice, but I mean the band Kansas.
That's Wayward Son. Isn't that?
Wayward Son and Dust in the Wind.
Yeah.
Carry On, My Wayward Son.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Well, carry on to the next person. How about you, Stansalot?
I have a less kind of different taste, you could say. My favorite bands are
a horrible by Charlie XCX.
That was a joke. That was a joke. All right. My favorite bands are Arctic Monkeys, Panic at the Disco, Coldplay, and the XX.
Nice. I'm gonna.
What about you, Danny?
What about you?
Here's the thing. I think I have to preface this a bit. So, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the YouTube channel Sugarpine7, but
no.
They make a lot of videos, and in their videos, use a lot of songs, and those songs basically have become my life force. Any song they choose, I basically end up putting it onto like my playlist, or I end up like buying it and listening to it later. But it's a lot of hipster music. A couple of bands include I'm hipster trash. A bunch of indie music, alternative. It's really cool though. You got bands like the Lemon Twigs, a little bit of Arctic Monkeys in there. They're pretty cool, as well as a lot of much smaller bands that are coming out with music, up and coming, kind of, it's really got amazing stuff though that I'm really into. Right now I'm listening to a lot of Hossein Log, who is actually a Spanish singer, and he's got some really cool songs. Just came out with a new EP that's really great. Then you've got I'm trying to think. Oh, Matt Duncan. He's one of my favorite artists right now as well. Has a lot of really cool, nice indie music. So yeah, a lot of kind of smaller stuff. But if you look up a Sugarpine7 playlist, you can probably find all the songs that he has, and they're just on point. They're amazing.
What kind of content do they make?
They make like vlog style videos that are very but they're not traditional vlogs. They're kind of scripted.
Girl talking.
They're scripted, improv, storylined vlogs. They're very much breaking new ground in the vlog world. I highly recommend them. They're so funny. They're really good. But yeah, that's a little bit of a plug for me. I'm obsessed with Sugarpine7. So if you want to watch some good YouTube content that's for free, just do yourself a favor and watch Sugarpine7. If you're like familiar with SourceFed, they're a lot of them are ex-employees from SourceFed. Rest in peace.
Didn't SourceFed go to BuzzFeed?
No, SourceFed died. They got canceled. BuzzFeed was one of their competitors.
Oh god, that sounds like BuzzFeed.
But anyways, SourceFed is just good, pure, and dead. Meanwhile, we got another question. We got a couple more questions. A lot of them from Pardo258, and he's a old community member from Comics Amino.
Hi, Pard.
He's actually, I believe, the first non-curator guest on the channel. So.
Oh yeah. He's been interviewed here before, so you gotta check that out, guys.
Is he a curator? Like,
no.
I always thought he was for some reason.
I think he never a curator? Did he used to be? Oh, okay. Maybe I'm getting confused with Tipper.
Yeah, because it was kind of striking me. It was like I always thought it was kind of like the situation with Bob, where he just left being a curator.
Okay, so his first question is, ooh, these are heavy-handed questions. Okay. The rise of the political commentary in comics in recent times. Is this something you prefer? Is it a negative?
Oh dear.
Please give small details on why.
Can I go first?
Sure.
Okay.
Time for a bunch of teenagers to make fools of themselves talking about politics.
Fools of ourselves.
I'm a bitter old man, I'll have you know. I'm no longer.
I'm sorry.
How I feel about it, that when it's done right, it can be done really well. When it's done wrong, on the other hand, oh god, oh dear god, it's really bad.
When it's done wrong, it comes off as like pandering.
Yes, I agree there.
It's very much invasive to the story. It's just like it's just like, oh, why is this here? I just wanted to read my story about
should be important.
I just wanted to read a comic book superhero. I didn't want to read this current writer's opinion on politics and injecting that into my characters.
A lot of people point out the most recent run of Squirrel Girl as a good example to politics getting in the way of the story. But I have not read Squirrel Girl though.
I love Squirrel Girl.
Oh man, Squirrel Girl. I don't have an opinion on her. I just kind of
Ryan and Erica are doing it fun and really hilarious. I enjoy it, regardless of what the political aspects of it. It's just still a very fun book for me.
I feel like some places where it's done well, and then where it's done poorly. I think where it's done well, actually, a good example that we don't really bring up is Steven Universe. It actually is a bit more politically charged than some people think, and I think it's done extremely well there.
I think they're more just kind of like themes, which is another one of his questions he had. What are some of your favorite themes or genres that attract you to certain comics?
I already answered this in the comments, but I love coming of age stories and like self-contained storylines that are like very small scale and focus more on character development and character interactions and high octane action sequences.
Yeah.
I don't like Civil War at all. Like, that's probably a good example to point out. I'm not talking about the Captain America film. I'm talking about the original version I'm not even talking about Civil War 2 because I haven't read it. Though from what I've heard, people have said it's very, very crap. But I'm talking about the original one by
Mark Miller,
who did Kick-Ass. Yes.
I really like the original Civil War.
I love the original Civil War.
I like the thing
that book. It gets what it is about it, and I don't know if it's the politics. I think it's like so skewed and just that to me. That's an example of a book where it just goes so far out of its way to try to prove a point that it loses comprehension of the story. Because
I will respect.
Nobody was really in character in that book. I mean, Captain America was like ultimate Captain America. Iron Man was an idiot. Reed Richards was an idiot. He was like a robot in that book. He was like saying, "My chemistry for you. Look at the chart." Something like that. It was also out of character, and it was just, and the definitive answer at the end, that was just, oh my gosh. Now I think the fallout was both good and bad. Bad in how it led to one more day. But with the whole thing, like with Civil War, was that it just got in the way of like just trying so hard to hammer in the message that it just ruined it for me. And that's the big problem to me when it comes to the political side of comics. Because they work so hard trying to hammer in a message. It's like those Saturday morning cartoons, where they try to just say, friendship is magic. And I'm not...
It's not magic?
Friendship is everything. We'll share and care. It's like, what they're doing now, like with the comics, except with much more pressing issues. Like, I guess another way to put it is that also with the needs for representation. Now, I'm not against representation in comics. I want to make that perfectly clear.
Mm-hmm. And there was
not
a huge.
In any way.
I think the problem with that is just because there was so much of a lack of it when original comics came out because
because they came out in the 1940s.
Exactly, and the world was a different place then, and it's not like saying like, oh yeah, representation. I mean,
but changing all of these characters that have been around for decades is, to me, not the solution to the issue. Like, I think it's a good idea.
But also, it's hard to introduce new characters and make them, make them
stand out.
Yeah, so it's a hard predicament.
Where it was done right when it comes to that kind of thing, probably with Miles Morales and his original run. That to me is done well. I'm not talking about where he was been introduced into 616. I mean the Ultimate Universe. And
I wonder if the plan is just to introduce a lot of legacy characters and make them all spin out into their own characters.
In my opinion, was with the New 52 Wally West. Now they fixed this.
Oh man,
they fixed this. I will clarify, but I think we can all agree that was not Wally West, the original Wally West, and that's why people got upset.
It was, yeah, but
and that got me so mad.
But man,
it didn't matter.
I'd be remiss to say if I don't love me some Keenan Lonsdale.
I want to make it clear: if he was just Wally West, like 100% just like the original comics, but his skin was different, I wouldn't care. They did that with Helena Bertinelli. They changed her up a bit, and they changed her skin color. I don't care that she's black. Not one bit. I actually think she's better now than she was pre-New 52. But with Wally West, he was a completely different character.
Yeah, there was no correlation between the two characters. Besides the fact that, besides like the statistics, like oh yeah, this is Wally, nephew of Iris, and that's about it.
Yeah, and it was just what really got to me on that was because the whole thing with Dick Grayson and him, like they wouldn't be able to have much of a friendship, and that was a big part of why I love the characters.
And yeah, that was completely dashed.
Just dashed from the wind. Now what they're doing with him, I'm perfectly fine with the character. I actually kind of like him.
Yeah, because they made him become his own character.
So how I feel about politics and comics in that regard is that as long as they're introduced in a smart way, and it doesn't destroy another character in that regard, I think it can be done well. Now, you guys were probably talking about the other ways of politics in comics, like with characters changing not just their but their sexual identity. How do you guys feel about that?
Honestly, yeah, that's a bit of a throwing a wrench into things, especially like with stuff like Iceman.
Iceman, they were making the jokes about him being gay long before the comic changed it. So I can believe it a little bit more, but yeah, when you're changing a character to be the sexuality that people are making fun of him to be, it's not really making fun of him saying he is. I don't know how to feel about that. I'm not gay, so I wouldn't know this stuff. So I wouldn't be the right person to talk about this kind of thing.
Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of thoughts to be had when it comes to changing up characters that have been away for like decades, and honestly, it's definitely it's a conversation that I don't think we have time for right now because we've been going on for like an hour and a half.
I feel like I was the only one talking. What do you guys? Okay, so I don't monopolize that part. What do you two think? Like, what do you guys three think? Like about the whole situation with politics and comics?
I'll keep it short and simple. Not a huge political person. Don't keep up with it really because both political parties are pretty terrible. So if it's done right, sure. But like when done wrong, then they're bringing. I'm not a fan of Pan. So there you go.
What about you, Stan?
Also, when it's done right, I'm okay with it because I do believe that representation is a very important part of comic books.
Mm-hmm.
But when it gets to become a pandering, as they say, I don't think anybody's okay with that because they also I believe that the focus should be on the storyline first.
Yeah, and I think I can agree with that there. But with that question being answered, I think we should start to wrap this boy up. Thank you so much for listening to the third episode of the Comics Me Up podcast, and thank you so much to have and thank you so much for and thank you so much to our guests, IrishManJake, Sir Stansalot, and Robin the Girl Wonder for joining me today. It's been an honor, a privilege, and a great time.
Thank you
I really hope you guys enjoyed being on this episode, and I hope to see you guys again soon.
Thanks.
But that being said, all you people listening, all you people watching, hope you enjoyed as well, and I hope to see you next episode for another tantalizing, fun episode of Comics Me Up podcast. That being said, remember, you too can be a hero. Bye-bye.